Here we are, guys, in my dining room with the Hilleberg Jannu tent set up again. I am in the infantile stages of planning my next excursion out into the wilderness in the Rockies now that it is the last week of this semester in school. So I got it set up in my dining room, and I thought that I would give you guys a better idea of how much space you have on the inside since I've updated my kit a little bit. I was pretty uncomfortable last trip. Just because I wasn't really all that prepared with the equipment that I own. So I've updated my kit since then, and I expect to be a lot more comfortable this time around when I do my update review in the winter season to see how this tent handles. Over here we got a little homegrown garden, pretty cool stuff. But here's the inside of the Hilleberg Jannu. Okay, I got two inflatable sleeping mattresses scooched up next to each other in there. On the left here we got the Nemo Cosmo large, awesome inflatable sleeping pad, really awesome. I can't wait to use it out in the wilderness. And on the right we have the Thermarest X Therm large in the rectangle version. We opted for that just because you hear a lot about these super light air mattresses that are small, and when you roll over to one edge it kind of collapses down a little bit. It doesn't have that support there, so you end up laying on the ground. We wanted the freedom to be able to roll over if we happen to do so and still remain on the support of a insulated air mattress. So that's why we went with the rectangle and the large versions, because we get a little bit extra leeway to either side. These are 25 inches in width each, so you got 50 inches stacked, or scooted up next to each other in here. Now they do go all the way out to the edges of the tent, and right now I have it pushed all the way to the back, and there is a little bit of room here at the foot still, as you can see. But keep in mind that I don't have the walls of the tent staked out either. So the tent is not taut, it's simply freestanding in my dining room right now. And I suspect that when I stake out the tent better, it's going to provide a little bit more space in there, so that hopefully maybe it won't be quite squished up against the walls as it is now. But we'll see. I'll let you guys know when I'm out there. But as you can see, there is quite a bit of space for what is advertised as a two-person tent. It's clearly a two-person tent, having two large sleeping pads next to each other in the tent. And they are not, I don't know if you can really notice, they're not overlapping each other either. I mean, they're scooched up next to each other, they're right next to each other, but they're not overlapping. So just to give you an idea of how much space, I'm looking forward to my next trip out into the Rocky Mountains out here to test this out in the winter, in the snow, to see how condensation builds up on the inside, and just to see how the tent does overall. I have high expectations of it, though, very high expectations, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'll be bringing you guys along with me this time. So we will see you out there later. Here we are at the trailhead. First trip in winter. Going to be testing out the Hilleberg Jannu to see how it does in the snow. And it is currently snowing, along with fresh snow from all day yesterday. Pretty sweet. Very sweet. Trusted companion, Zeus the mountain dog, of course. And this time, we're bringing along a special guest as well. Won't be seeing too much of this one. This weather isn't really conducive to her survival. But introducing Coco, the spoiled princess, who I have in a makeshift little kangaroo pouch that I've strapped around my body. Fun stuff. She would probably freeze to death out here. But this time I'm really not going to be going too far. Didn't plan for a long trip this time around. I'm gonna go maybe about 1.5 miles or so out here, find a good spot. Maybe make a fire, we'll see. It really depends. It's gonna be fun. Look at this. Winter Wonderland, baby. Winter Wonderland. Love this stuff. So awesome. So guys, I'm still only using my phone, so I'm gonna go ahead and apologize ahead of time. I know that the sound quality is gonna be probably pretty bad. So just a little point to make. I showed you the snow. It's probably a good foot deep, even deeper in other areas. But when you're hiking in, you definitely don't want to be bundled up. Like, it's really easy to spot new folk from experienced based on how they dress at the beginning of a hike. So like right now, all I have is base layer bottoms with my hiking pants over those, and a thermal top with a Gore-Tex shell on over top of that. That's it. So I mean, I was cold at the car when I was getting ready to start hiking in, but I probably haven't even gone 100 yards yet, and I'm already starting to warm up. So you definitely don't want to get all bundled, because if you get bundled, then you're going to get really hot and start sweating, and that's dangerous in these types of conditions, because you get wet and then you slow down and then you get really cold. That's how hypothermia happens. Even in a lot more mild conditions, hypothermia can happen by overexerting yourself, getting sweaty, and then getting cold. So yeah, I'm definitely already warmed up. In fact, I'm probably going to strip this beanie off here in a minute, because I'm going to start getting too hot. As always, Zeus is out paving a trail for us. I don't even know where he went. Somewhere up there. He's good though. He won't run off too far. Usually when he gets out of sight, he'll end up just stopping and waiting. And here he is, waiting for my slow butt to catch up, playing in the snow. His weather of choice. Come on, dog. Good boy. Good boy. We made it to a giant rock. Huge rock. I ran into a nice fellow winter hiker and her dog that's off playing with my dog somewhere. Chewing gross dead things. And as you can see, there's a big old mountain right over there. That's where we're headed. The top of that guy. Yeah. Definitely a lot of work put in here. Oh, there goes Zeus. Frolicking through the snow. Yep. Starting to wish that I owned a pair of snowshoes. Those are on the bucket list. Things to get. Check this out. It's like a cotton field, except not. Fun times. So unfortunately, guys, I ended up having to cut the trip short because the little dog, the little spoiled princess dog, she started getting too cold
So I needed to stop, find a place as quick as possible, and set up camp and get her in the tent wrapped in a blanket. Right now she's in the sleeping bag with me. Uh, for that matter, I am this time. Again, I'm using the GI sleep system, but this time I have both bags integrated with each other. So I got the green one over top of the black cold weather bag. Very heavy and bulky item. I'm definitely looking to upgrade my sleeping system as far as what sleeping bag I use. But yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate that I wasn't able to make it all the way to the top. That's what I had wanted to do. Um, just wasn't able to do it. Had to take care of the little dog. Um, you got to take care of your animals. You know, when you bring them out, when you make that call, then you need to make sure that they have a fun time too. Um, you know, it'd be sucky for them. You know, you're going out camping and the dog's like, "Oh, great, I'm gonna freeze my butt off again. I'm probably not gonna survive this time." But I'm probably actually not gonna bring her on these types of trips again. She's just not suited for it. These little Yorkshire Terriers, they don't have fur like some of these bigger dogs do. They have hair and they only have one coat of it, so they can't really keep warm. So anyway, we're probably going to be calling it a night here pretty soon. It's starting to get dark out. As soon as it does get dark out, I'm probably just going to crash, to be honest with you. I had heated myself up some ramen. That was good. That definitely warmed me up. And before drinking the hot liquid after eating the noodles, I let it sit in the tent for a little bit to kind of warm the atmosphere up a tad. I have, as you see, I have the front door open at the top to vent and get some airflow, as well as that triangle vent that I spoke about. I have it opened up as well to get as much ventilation as I can. I've noticed that the walls are already starting to collect some condensation. That could be due to letting the hot water evaporate in here to warm up. So I'm definitely not going to judge the tent on that fact alone, because that could be my fault. But excuse me. I will definitely let you guys know how the tent does in the morning when I wake up. See how the inside of the walls are doing, how much condensation built up on them, and yeah, stay tuned. All right, guys. So how the tent did in the winter. Well, as I expected, a lot of condensation actually did build up on the inside of the tent. There just isn't that much mesh. The only mesh there is in that vent there and in the door behind me. So the walls have built up condensation, which is actually even frosted, if you can see that. Last night it dropped down to like 3 degrees. It was pretty frigid. I was able to keep warm in my sleeping bag. I kept the little dog warm in the sleeping bag. Poor Zeus dog. He's getting cold over here. Yeah, sorry boy. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. We're gonna get going here in a minute. Also, I was on the slight slope since I had to just set up really quickly, which sucked because the entire night I was contending with my sleeping pad and everything sliding all the way down to the foot of the tent, which is a huge pain because now basically the foot box of my sleeping bag is frosted. And if you can see here, all of that is kind of frosted at the edge there in the corner. So Um, it got a little cold in here. I was able to stay warm in my sleeping bag. But all in all, I think the tent really didn't do bad. You know, it was really, really, really cold out, and for the most part, I'm dry. The exterior of my sleeping bag is cold, but it's not wet. I'm definitely gonna have some cleaning up to do whenever I get home, but um, good tent. Good tent. It does condensate on the inside. It does frost if it gets really cold. But it does what it's meant to do. It keeps you out of the elements, and for the most part, I was able to stay warm in my sleeping bag and in the tent. So I'm probably not going to do a whole lot of recording on the way out. I want to get out as quickly as possible. My poor dog is getting cold, and I don't know how long the little dog will last out in that weather. It's frigid. I was very close to deciding to actually pack up last night and not stay the night here, because I was getting reports that it was going to be extremely cold this morning, so it would have been even, not as cold to just pack up last night and head out in the dark than it would be this morning. But someone's on our side, and the weather kind of changed, so it's a bit more mild now, which is good news. Anyway, thanks for joining with me, guys. I hope that my review of this tent and this update and how it does in the cold in the winter, I hope that it's informative and helps you make educated decisions if you're thinking about getting one of these tents. Appreciate it, and we will catch you next time. Mad Max out.